NBA 2K17's My Team mode had an interesting feature last year: rule changes. In my 20 years as the GM of the expansion Chicago Libertarians, I saw the 3 seconds in the key rule expanded to 5. I saw the 25-second play clock extended to 30. Preciously, I saw the luxury tax eliminated. It was a cool feature that made NBA 2K17 and likely 18 feel dynamic and ever-changing. However, it turns out the real-life NBA has such meetings too, and made a few changes to various intricacies of the league. What could they mean for NBA 2K18? Quite a bit, actually. So let's discuss it. The NBA trade deadline is moving up to the second Thursday before the All-Star break. In real life, this prevents GMs from using the All-Star break and game to make trades. In 2K's My GM mode, it doesn't mean a lot really, just it will come earlier than usual. If you're like me, I eliminated the trade deadline altogether in My GM when given the opportunity. In NBA 2K, I was always curious the difference between the full timeout and the 20-second timeout. Sure, the longer timeouts allowed you to adjust your strategy in more detail, but late in the game it seems especially cumbersome. Now the NBA has changed the timeout rules. For starters, all timeouts will be 75 seconds long, and teams will only get 14 total timeouts, and only 2 in the final 3 minutes of the game, much to the chagrin of advertisers, I'm sure. Additionally, mandatory timeouts will be reduced. Now each game will have 2 mandatory timeouts taking place after the first stoppage under the 7 and 3 minute marks. Teams will only be granted 2 timeouts in overtime instead of the traditional 3. This is a welcome change for NBA 2K18 simply because the game is complicated enough as it is, especially for new users. Balancing timeouts, the type of timeouts, the coach constantly stop and play during a particular bad run can really slow the game down, especially in overtime. These changes should hopefully fix that. And 2 changes that won't affect NBA 2K18, players who wander beyond the 3-point line or teams who aren't ready to play after a 15-minute timeout will be assessed a delay of game penalty. Since both of these things are fundamentally impossible in NBA 2K, it's doubtful these changes will have an effect on the flow of gameplay. That said, for NBA and NBA 2K fans, these rule changes will have a minor but noticeable effect on the game of hoops, ideally resulting in a better flow and easier to follow game with less fits and starts. And you'll get to see them all in action when NBA 2K18 releases on September 19th, 2017. Sorry sports gamers, do you have any other side effects the new rule changes can have for NBA 2K18 for the good or bad? Leave it in the comments down below. And stay tuned for more NBA news and tips here at Sports Gamers Online, so subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss anything we put out. I'm Chris, thank you all for watching and be good y'all.